Good morning, children. So today we are going to start with this next poem on killing a tree. So this is the title of your poem, on killing a tree. You must have observed people cutting down trees. We all have seen that how people, they usually cut down trees. What they cut? Trees. Okay. But can they kill a tree? Now the question arises, can they really kill a tree? Is it easy to do so? Is it so easy? Let's read the poem and find out what the poet says on killing a tree. So let us read the poem and find out whether the answer is yes or no. As I told you already that in this poem the poet sensitizes the reader, and it also highlights the fact that trees are living things. He equates trees with humans, and he conveys that trees should not be cut. Okay, and one more thing, it has already made it very clear that tree does not die just by cutting. Okay, because it regrows from where it is cut. Okay, let us see in detail in this poem. Now this is the opening of this poem is, it takes much time to kill a tree. What the poet is saying, that it takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple zap of the knife. So zap means what? To hit something forcefully. Zap means to hit something forcefully. Okay, so this is the meaning of zap. Fine. It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple zap of the knife will do it. Now the poet is saying that just by hitting, okay, with this knife will not be sufficient. Okay, in short you can say that the poet is saying a simple cut does not destroy a tree. Okay, it has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust. Crust means upper layer of earth. So what do you mean by crust? Upper layer, okay, of earth. Fine. So this is the meaning of crust. Okay. Slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water. And out of its, what it's saying, leprous height, sprouting leaves. So what the poet is trying to show in this poem, that in this stanza, okay, the poet is trying to remark that the process of the full growth of a tree, okay, and it is saying that this full growth of a tree is a quite slow and steady process. It is also saying that it consumes, okay, what it consumes, the nutrients from the earth, the sunlight, the air and the water, and gradually what happens, it grows so strong that it cannot be killed so easily. Okay, so that is why the stanza opens with the poet's statement. What it gives the statement, that killing a tree is a long process which consumes a lot of time. It is not that easy. Okay, so the poet is trying to give this part over here, and what the poet is saying, that the tree is firmly bound with the soil. Okay, so as it has been shown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water. Okay, so it means the tree is firmly bound with the soil. It takes in what? Sunlight, water, air to grow into a strong trunk, okay, and have numerous leaves. So it takes a lot of time, okay, to grow to the you can say in the form of a complete tree. Full growth of a tree takes a lot of time. Okay, so what the poet is saying, the tree draws its nourishment from nature. In short, you can say that all the nourishment that the tree gets, it gets from nature, and that nourishment makes this tree so strong that it develops amazing self-healing power. And because of that, it has developed that capacity of self-healing. Okay, now what the poet is saying in the last two lines, okay, the bark of its trunk is discolored like the skin of a person suffering from leprosy. Okay, see here the leprous is given. Leprous means what? Affected with leprosy. It is a disease. Okay, you may not be aware of this disease, but earlier it was a very common and it was heard. So this poet is talking about the leprosy. It is a disease where your skin get discolored. Okay, so what the poet is trying to say, the bark of its trunk is discolored like the skin of a person who is suffering from leprosy. Still, new leaves and branches sprout from it. Okay, it means, in short, you can say that the poet is saying that it is not that easy to destroy this tree by simply hitting that tree with a knife. Okay, sprout means what? Sprout means what? To produce, okay, leaves. Fine. Now this is your first stanza. Now let us come to the second stanza. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. What the poet is saying? So hack. Hack means what? Cut. Okay, cut, that is very roughly. Okay, so hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. So the poet is saying this hack, this cut and chop, okay, cut into pieces. Okay, this alone won't be sufficient, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Miniature boughs, boughs means branches, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. Okay, so what I told you, hack means what? Cut. Chop means cut in pieces. What do you mean bleed? To lose blood. Okay, bark means what? What do you mean by bark? Hard outer covering of tree. Okay, so this is the meaning of bark. So what the poet is trying to tell in this stanza, the poet is trying to say that human cut and chop, okay, the bark of trees in too many pieces, but that is not sufficient to destroy this tree. Okay, so so if we are cutting or chopping the trees, okay, all these things are not going to be sufficient, okay, to destroy this tree. Okay, in short, hacking and chopping alone will not be sufficient. Okay, have you understood this part? So this is what the poet is saying, that the powerful blows of the axe can only give pain and scars. Okay, it can only give. What the poet is saying, the bleeding bark will heal. Okay, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The powerful blows of the axe can only give pain and scars to the trees, but not put an end to its life. It cannot bring end to its life. Okay, the injured trunk with the sap oozing from its rounded bark will certainly heal with time. Okay, the bleeding bark will, after a certain time, it will definitely get it healed. Okay, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again. Okay, though it is close to the ground means what?